flight bus, bitch. You know, for sure. I'm the Archangel Uriel. You're now watching the mind of an Aries moon, and you know what I'm saying, I'm here to carry out God's duties and responsibilities. Goddamn. Check me out though. Right now, this is the Ascendant series, so what we're gonna start with first? Aries. Okay, Aries Ascendant people. Now, when we talk about the first house, we gotta talk about the first house when you talk about Ascendant, you know what I'm saying? So the first house. First house is the person, the personality, the person, the broadened awareness, the aura you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? When a nigga don't see your actions or reactions, you got an aura around you. You got to glow. This is the first initiation. This is where first people may first see you and depict you. Even people who are criticizing motherfuckers. People, they may look at you and they may criticize you. Most 9 times out of 10, they criticize you from your first house, which is your appearance. Now, a lot of people like to say this shit is literal, that it really translates through appearance. Like physically, literally, that your features look like these, but I don't really like to say that. You know what I'm saying? But but it's truth in the fact that it's your appearance. But we talking from an energy level. We talking from a aura level. The glow, that the aura and the glow that's around you, that other people's spirits pick up on first. You know what I'm saying? If a person may not like you off the bat, you may be square or opposite to their rising or their sun sign in many cases. Because if a person either show that they don't like you and aggressively or something like that, maybe your rising is depicting their Mars somewhere and their sun sign, and you know the first house deals with a lot of this shit. So, you know what I'm saying, it's like the personality or whatever like that. So when you have Aries in the first house, here is the natural place of the first house, because here Aries is already the self sign. It's the first sign of the zodiac, so it's here now. So it's by itself. It's always by itself at first. So when you put that and put that mindset and that archetype and Mars being the driving passion force to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Because you're here now and you need to move forward. You need to initiate something. You need to begin something because you're at the beginning. This is the beginning. So you have to, Aries always has to start something. That goes for all the cardinal signs, and it all plays into the archetype of a person's rising sign. Now Aries is the rising sign. You have a natural house of Cancer, 4th house. You have a natural house of Libra, 7th house, and you have a natural house of Capricorn, 10th house. So this all plays in the archetype and plays out through the Aries persona. And Aries in the first house is best there because it's the self sign. Which, for an example, say like you in a classroom, right? And everybody, each one of you have different opinions about things. Before you succumb to another person's opinion, you're gonna listen to what they're saying and translate it in your own mind, in your own way. That's the only way you're gonna be able to understand it. You won't be able to understand it the way they're explaining it, as well as other signs. You're gonna have to formulate your own expression of what's being taught in a classroom, and have to formulate your own presentation in your own mind of what you think it should be before you can fully understand it. And then when Mars get here, it doesn't have the patience to do that. This is why a lot of Aries can't stay still, like in classrooms or stuff like that. Like, so if you have kids that's Aries and they're always going to detention or something like that, and you always get a call home and they telling you that your child is in detention because they couldn't sit still, you need to check their rising sign if they're not an Aries up front. Their Aries rising might be they might be an Aries rising, and and it plays out in the 4th house. Aries become, they're the self, but they become, when it's in the rising sign, at some point in time in their life, they become in need of nurturing. You know what I'm saying? So they may act like they're independent, but secretly be dependent on someone. You know what I'm saying? This is like Aries rising, just because it's Cancer in the 4th house, and this is the natural sign of the 4th house. So you're going to experience Aries rising. All Aries rising is going to experience in their life times of being alone. Even if you're in a room full of a whole bunch of other people, you're gonna feel alone. It's situations that you have to deal with, and you have to understand it alone. And you're gonna trouble with that because you're gonna never feel like you're doing it right. So you're gonna look to others and see if they're doing it right, but see, that's where you fall short at. Aries is the pioneer, and when it's in your rising, say you have another sun sign that doesn't support Aries energy, then it could kind of throw you off balance a little bit and make others look at you unbalanced a little bit. But as far as the Aries, you have to Aries Ascendant, you have to develop your own way in your own expression of what's being led by everybody, because if you don't, you're gonna go against the ties of what's going on and be looked at as an outcast. And you don't want to be that person that want friends but nobody want to be friends with you. And then the little bit of friends you do have, only reason they'll be around because they'll utilize your energy, and then they go off and have their other friends, and then they leave you alone again where you wanted to join but you can't because of circumstances. Like, these are the type of situations that kind of play out in Aries Ascendants, because this is your appearance, this is awareness, this is how you dive into life. So you're gonna have to at some point in time in your life, you're gonna need that nurturing. But you're gonna have to learn to understand. Then it goes into the 7th house, which is the opposite. You're gonna have to start learning how to understand others. You know what I'm saying? But with your own dialect. So you can't take from others' dialect. You have to have your own dialect, but be able to relate to others without being opposing to the point that nobody wants to be around you. You know what I'm saying? Because you think you know what's right, and 9 times out of 10 you do be right, but at the same time you come across like nobody can't tell you nothing. And when you're in a relationship, or in any kind of relationship with friends, peers, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, any kind of kids, whatever, any kind of relationship you're in, it's not a, you have to understand as an Aries Ascendant, and this goes for Sun, Moon too, but for the Ascendant especially, you have to understand that it's not that you know what's right and then nobody can't tell you nothing, so you have to keep putting up a guard that you know you right and like kind of come defensively. That's not the point of relating to other people. The point of relating to people is, yeah, you can have your stance, but understand where they're coming from also, and y'all can build on that conversation together in a way that y'all both can get an understanding where you both coming from. So Aries, you shouldn't look so direct like you know what's right, even if you know you right. That you're gonna leave the person feeling like, yeah, he's smart, but I don't really like talking to him. You're gonna leave people thinking like that towards you. Like, okay, yeah, that dude's smart, but you know what I'm saying, I don't really like talking to him because just that. I don't, and certain like other signs that got Venus in it and stuff like that, look towards that, and then you'll start realizing like, why don't people appreciate the knowledge you be giving to them? But see, in other people's heads, you have to understand other signs look at this like, yeah, he's smart, but I don't want to give him the credit. And Aries, you tend to think everybody think like you, so 9 times out of 10 you're not thinking that people are thinking about these things deeply or thinking about your traits deeply. But everybody has a mind, so don't ever think you thinking something that someone else ain't thinking. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn that too. So and then you have to understand this. Other people are looking at it and they looking at it like this. Like, yeah, he's smart, but I don't even want to ask him no questions or nothing like that because he might start getting all big-headed like he are, and then I don't even feel like giving him the pleasure to do that. But yeah, he's smart. You know what I'm saying? So you get that, and then you start thinking like, I know I'm the shit, but why everybody ain't trying to say I'm the shit like that? That's why. You know what I'm saying? So you got to tone down the ego a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So see where your Mars at and see what houses is in, and this would be that house. That'll be the area you mostly do that at. But you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? These are very hard workers. They're determined, and they're not very good. They don't appear to like details, but they can. If it's something important enough to them, they will dig down and get the details better than any other sign. You know what I'm saying? And then they have to learn how to build on that and stay on something, and don't switch, because this leads into the 10th house, which is Capricorn. Stay on something and build on something, and don't just switch to something else just because you don't see the results in time. Certain things take longer than others. Some things may take 10 years. Some things may take 15 years. But if you're going to be a jack of all trades, how are you going to be a master of one thing? You know what I'm saying? So that is learning that through the 10th house. So yeah, this is Aries Ascendant people. You know what I'm saying? These people, they're very they seem to have a high energy. You know what I'm saying? They seem to and they want to get along with everybody. It's just they come off aggressively to do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people sometimes don't necessarily want to be in that kind of energy. Some people are lazier than others, or some people no, like you may be the person who tells somebody they're lazy. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lazy person may not want to hear that. They may want someone to motivate them and see you fire, so you the filler of the fire, and you're detached, so you don't really want to deal with that because you're dealing with your own. You know what I'm saying? So you feel like if you built enough courage to get up and did it, they should have enough courage to get up and get it. And that's a good thing. That's a good attribute for Aries Ascendant people, because they on task, and and then they get all their homework done, or at the job they get everything done real fast. Shit, you get any job you want as an Aries Ascendant. Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. Air. We're going to Taurus.